Hey guys, Tuesday the 31st, week 3, day 2, which puts us at what, day 16? We are going to introduce our first at-home benchmark workout today. All right, if you're not familiar with the benchmarks, Grace, Annie, Isabel, all those different named ones that we have on the board on the front side wall at the gym, or that some of you Highland members have done before. A lot of the ClassPass people might not know what I'm talking about if you're only doing the CityFit class. Benchmark workouts are basically workouts that are created to be repeated and to specifically test our increased, decreased level of fitness. So today's we have kind of tested before. We're going to do it in a slightly different manner, but it is going to be something you're going to see again. This is a lower body benchmark, and we are going to call it the pain train. All right, we're looking at 15 minutes. If you did not do this last time, I'm going to post, or I'm just going to hop over and do a description and explanation here in a second, show you how to do this. But essentially, a round is a goblet squat, reverse left lunge, reverse right lunge if I have a kettlebell or a single dumbbell. You can always, with 2 dumbbells or 2 kettlebells, do front squat, reverse lunge, reverse lunge. With a barbell, you can do the same thing, front squat, reverse lunge, reverse lunge. Now, we did this last time. We had a required rest in between each round. So you went through that once. You had to set the weight down for, I think it was 20 seconds, and then you could pick it back up and go through that twice. When we go through that twice, what it looks like is squat, lunge, lunge, squat, lunge, lunge. Not squat, squat, lunge, 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 lunge. Okay? So as you get to the second round, the third round, the fourth round, that's how many times you're going to run through the squat, lunge, lunge, but it needs to stay in that order, just like a barbell complex would be. All right? So with the rack positions, or however you want to look at that, I don't care necessarily where the weight's at. So if it is a single kettlebell, it can be goblet. If you get to a point where you're just breaking down, you could switch it to one side. You could switch it to the other side. You could take it up overhead with one arm. It doesn't make much sense to hang it down in the suitcase position. But what I want to see is, or hear, is that it's staying here for the 3 reps. So if you're going to hit your squat here, right lunge, left lunge in the same position before you switch it up to something else. Now, let's say I'm on round 3, I can go squat, lunge, lunge, squat, lunge, lunge, squat, lunge, lunge. That's fine. But I want you to be able to get through that squat, lunge, lunge sequence with the weight in the same position. If I have 2 dumbbells or 2 kettlebells, I can front rack it. I can stack it as we did for that one open workout. Take it up overhead. If you can keep the weight up there for the squats, that's fine. You could even drive them together if you want to have an interesting upper body shoulder dynamic in there. If you have barbells, front rack, back rack, overhead rack. If you want to do a Zercher and kind of hold it down in the elbows, that's fine. That might actually give you an interesting dynamic for the core work that's going to be involved in this as well. All right, so again, last little thing I want to make sure we understand here is that there is no forced rest on the benchmark, okay? Last time we did this, you had to set the weight down for 20 seconds before you could pick it back up. This time, you just have to touch the ground with the weight. So after I finish 1, 1, 1, I tap the ground, pick it back up for 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and then I have to tap the ground, right? So each changeover of round. If that's a barbell, it's basically just a tap and go power clean. If it's dumbbells, it's the same thing. If it is a single kettlebell or single dumbbell, it's going to look a little bit more like that, maybe like sumo tap tater, if you will, that I demonstrated the other day with the med ball cleans, where you just kind of take it down, pop it back up from there. All right? So, demonstrations. With kettlebell, goblet, lunge, lunge, set it down. For that second round, squat, lunge, lunge, squat, lunge, lunge. All right. We can also do it within this position. I can also set it up overhead and work with it from there. All right. If I have dumbbells, as I said, it can be in a front squat position. It can be stacked on the back side of the shoulder. You can hold it in front of you if you want to get a lot more upper body and shoulder into there, or you can press it up overhead. If we have a barbell, front rack position, back rack position, overhead position. All right, so benchmark number 1, the pain train. Hello, soreness, my good friend.